Hi guys, welcome back to Coco Crescentara. Um, I was gonna say something, but I was like, no. If you guys are new, welcome, and if you guys are returning, welcome back. I was gonna say something. Um, Guys, I talk about accountability and becoming, evolving, being aware of yourselves so that you could be aware of your decisions. I think that's very important nowadays, well, just in general, um, for us to understand who we are and where we desire to go, and then what it's going to take to get there, so that the decisions that we're making, we're aware of the results. You can't control things, but you're more aware of what results you're going to get, because you're cognizant of your actions. You're doing things that are in line with your purpose, that are in line with the vision that you see for yourself, instead of just living haphazardly. And then when things happen, it's like, how did we get here? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, okay. You know? But the goal, the desire is strong, healthy individuals, complete, whole individuals. I was thinking of another word to put in there, but just whole, healthy, strong individuals. Becoming love, becoming greatness, becoming excellent. Because then, if you do have families, if you have children, if you have a partner, you're only going to exude that onto them. You're only going to show them how to think correctly, how to think soberly, with you thinking correctly, with you thinking soberly. And so, that's our goal, just to grow, change, evolve, and constantly get better. But we're just going to be rhyming today because I just finished my walk and I was talking to the Lord, and I had I was like, that's a good revy, that's a good revy. Or just like, that's a different way of thinking about something, and I would like to adopt that thought process. I was talking to the Lord, and I was like, Father, I feel like there's ways that we think about stuff that it's good. It could be like a motivational way of thinking about something to help you get somewhere. But also the underline of that motivational way of thinking could be rooted in a form of a lack thought process, or not good enough thought process, or like an insecurity thought process. And if we understand the root of that, and then we can change the thinking so it's like rooted from like an abundance thought process, like a worthiness thought process, just imagine how much more profitable and productive and like influential you can be. So one of those things that I was thinking about was, okay, like when people say, um, oh, when you're like, what is one thing? Or a common thing, it's like, well, when you're ready, it'll come to you. Like when you're ready for the new job, it'll come to you. When you're ready for the relationship, it'll come to you. When you're ready for the marriage, it'll come to you. I was I was like, that's true. That is true. But when you say that to somebody, they could interpret it depending on however their upbringing is, whatever insecurities and stuff they may or may not be dealing with. They can interpret that as, where I currently am, I'm not good enough. There's work that I need to do where I currently am to get A, B, and C, which could be very true. However, because of that thinking, I feel like it's rooted in like a lack pot. So all the efforts that you're doing are good efforts that are going to be positive and get you to where you want to go. But the the blossoming of the actions that you have to do for the result is watered and rooted in insecurity and lack. So on that blossoming tree, it's going to look beautiful, but the fruit is going to have like fruit of like small insecurities, small, I don't ever want to see this happen again, small, um, maybe like instead of like gates, for healthy boundaries, it would be like putting walls up. And it's almost like, okay, we're going places, y'all, so stay with us, okay? Um, when I say us, I mean like me and the Holy Spirit. Because nowadays you gotta clarify. But I was thinking like, okay, one thing could be like, mm, what would be a good example? I can't think of a good example that I feel like would tie it all together. But anyway, like it would be, like um, it's rooted in like a lack pot instead of, so like everything is from, I gotta do this so I can get that, I gotta do this so I can receive this, that, or the other. However, that way of thinking could also be very detrimental to you because let's just say you're doing an activity so that you can get a certain result, but the root of where this activity stemmed from initiated from like a lack. So as you're doing this activity, okay, this is a good example. Like, okay, you could have a girl or a guy, it could be anybody, who, like, maybe say when they were like in high school or middle school or whatever, they were really overlooked. Nobody was checking for them. The ants weren't checking for them. Bye. Okay, and then they focus on other things. They focus on their personality. They focus on understanding people's feelings. They focus on being a good person because their looks ain't doing nothing for them, right? And however, as they start to grow up, it's not because they're not getting the attention that they want or that they even need, and they know they're a good person. Now it's like, okay, I'm going to become, I'm going to become what everybody wants. Let's just say if you're a guy, I'm going to become what I know every girl wants. If you're a girl, I'm going to become what I know every guy wants, right? So you focus on becoming and bettering yourself, but the root of that is from a pot of you being overlooked and you not being considered and you not feeling loved and you feeling like the outcast. And so now you do look amazing, guy or girl. However, the same people that you wanted in high school now want but because your pot wasn't rooted in like, what, okay, it's maybe not my time. I'm just going to work on myself, work on becoming love. And as I become love, love will attract to me, love will find me. It's from like a different approach of like, I'm going to show them that they should have chose me. Like I'm going to show them that I am that baddie or this or that or the other. So you're now getting the caliber of man or woman that you want, and you are a good person, but now you don't know how to treat them, or you spitefully treat them nasty because the root of your blossoming and your growing was from a place of insecurity, was from a place of lack, was from a place of hurt. It wasn't from a place of like understanding, acceptance, realizing like it just maybe isn't my time. Everybody has their own preference. When it is my time, I'll be ready. Because then if it was from that place, it'd be the same thing. Nobody still's checking for you. But now you're like, okay, I'm going to grow, or I'm going to better myself. I'm going to elevate. And as you do that, as you become love, as you become that essence, that same the same caliber of person that you wanted when you were younger are now wanting you. But because you're looking at it with healthy eyes, now it's just like, yes, I'm ready. My time to receive, instead of like, oh yeah, come over here. Come over here because you about to get your head chopped off. Like those are two different places. Two different mindsets. Like those are completely two different places. And so I was thinking like, so that's why I was like, I say all that to say, that was the example. I say all that to say like, okay, Lord, like oftentimes, people say like, oh, you don't have that promotion because you're not ready, maybe you need this, or or another thing that I've heard was like, I hate this. I'm sorry. You guys. I'm sorry. You know what, you guys, though? It's very probably true. I don't know. I just hate it. Okay. Okay. I've heard people say this. They're like, the reason. I can't. I can't, y'all. I hate that. Whatever. We're not gonna give that one. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, but you do have people say like, oh, the reason you may not be in a relationship, or the reason why you may not be married or whatever, is because God wants you to have that business, or God wants you to work on your self-esteem, or all this tomfoolery. That is true. Like, obviously, you can't be in a marriage with a bad attitude. Like, you're gonna get divorced. But like you hear all those things, like the reason that you don't have this car, or the reason why you don't have the job, or the reason why it's because you weren't ready. You got to get all this other stuff, and it is true. I believe it is true, but I feel like the same sentence. Oh, wait. What is it? This different side of the same coin. Okay, the same sentence. Okay, we'll just go with that one. The different side, the other side of the same coin would be like, instead of thinking from a place of like, okay, when you're ready, you'll have that job. When you're ready, you'll have that relationship. When you're ready, you'll have that baby. It's like, okay, what if we thought about it from a place like, I'm working on me. I'm the best version of myself right now. I'm becoming. I am love, because you are whatever you think you are. Like, I am love. I am patience. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am kindness. I am self-control. I am meekness. I am all those things. I'm becoming. I'm evolving. I'm doing the work. I am a high caliber of person. And so, not looking at it from a place of like, I have to do more in order to receive this job, or I have to do more in order to receive the relationship, or receive the family. But when the job is ready for me, because I know the kind of person that I am, it will receive me. When the relationship is ready for me, it will receive me. Because if you are love, you're not chasing love. You're being attracted to, because everybody is looking for love. If you are kindness, you're not chasing kindness, Like, people are being attracted to you. Like, if you are all the things, another thing. We're going to stop. Okay? Another thing that I was thinking, mulling it over with the big dog, I said, Jesus, you know what? I totally get. I was watching, there's this one young lady I love online. It's Sadie's Psychology. philosophy. Clearly, I just I just found out about her like 2-3 months ago because I don't even know. There's this one lady that I really like. I think it's Sadie's Philosophy or Sadie's Psychology. Both of them are spelled with like, I think one's PH, one's PSY. Philosophy? No, that's psychology, psychic, whatever. Her name is Sadie, right? And a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. Okay, not only is she very aesthetically pleasing, but the way she carries herself, oh my gosh, you guys. To me, she looks like the, and I don't really, no, let me stop. Um, to me, this young lady looks like the definition of a woman learning herself and figuring out what works for her, because she is very beautiful and she's very beautiful. However, she's not like she's not mainstream, like, what would be the correct word? She doesn't look very like mainstreamy, like what everybody's like, the big lips and like just like the insane lashes that don't make any sense, and like the cheekbones looking like the mask, and she's just, it feels, to me, it looks like she has learned herself, learned what looks good on her, learned what doesn't, learn how to suit her. Because one thing that I look at is consistency. Like, the way that you consistently look, that is you, and I feel like it's, when I talk about like being comfortable in your own skin, I believe that men and women, we should first learn how you look, and then learn what things maybe you like or what things you don't like about you, and then learn how to use everything that is available to us to either enhance or to conceal or to amplify, whatever it is, within your own means. Like, you don't got to get injected this and injected that and do the, like, hard work, consistency, discipline, going to the gym, it'll get you a right body. Face yoga, a right face. You won't be drooping. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm all about preserving beauty. I'm all about, keeping it right, keeping it tight, okay? However, if you are doing something because it looks good on someone else and you're like, "Oh, I want that," but that doesn't suit you, you're just doing it because it looks good on someone else and you like the attention that good look gets them, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. That's why we have a whole bunch of women walking around like this. Chalet. This is the sexy face. Ma'am, you look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. Like, stop. Like, it doesn't fit your face. Don't get me wrong, everybody wants a little pop pop pow, but it don't fit your face, and it don't fit your face. But let's digress. Anyway, so this young lady, to me, she looks like someone who has learned themselves and worked on themselves and figure out what looks good for her, and to me, she's also very wise in the way that she thinks and that she speaks. And somebody, a hater, because that they out here, was like, I was reading some of her comments or whatever, and they were saying like, oh, you only say what you're saying and speak the way you speak because you like all the attention from men. I was like, or maybe it's just because she's telling the truth, you know? Like, watch another person with no picture or like maybe a anime picture up in here talking about how you only do this and you only do that because of this, that, and the other. Like, what are you doing, person with no picture? Whatever. Anyway, but I was thinking after, reading that, on my walk, I was thinking, I was like, you know what, Lord? We should be using everything. Like, let's just say this young lady was using her looks to grow her business or whatever. I don't think she is. She's just a very beautiful woman, but she's smart. And that's why I believe her business is growing. But let's just say she was using her looks to grow her business. Why wouldn't you? Now I'm like, Lord, you gave us, I'm like, everything that we are was given to us so that we could live the life that we want, that we can get what we want, and that we could have what we want. The Lord, I feel as though the Lord gave us everything that we need. It's all at our disposal. You just have to learn it and you have to then use it. That's what I was thinking. And so, and another thing, I was thinking like, you know what? If she is using her looks, she should. Honestly, y'all, I was thinking this too. But, now I'm really thinking it. I was like, all of us should be looking super califragilisticexpialidocious. Like, one, life is too short to be looking basic. And two, I mean, you could run into Anna Wintour's any day on the street, okay? Okay? Any day. But I was like, the reason maybe some people, okay, y'all, I'm just thinking now. Okay? So these are just thoughts. I'm like, okay, maybe the reason why some of us, I'm including myself in here because y'all don't know how I live. You don't know if I live extraordinary, average, or below average. And you honestly, you would never find that out unless you're my day one. But anyways, the reason why some of us live average lives is because we present average to the world. Like you made us so eloquently exquisite, and 99.5 of us, okay, let me do the 95%, are lazy. And instead of using this face that you gave all of us, taking the canvas and then just sprucing it up a bit, perfecting it a bit, in the morning, we decide to go to bed later than we should, wake up later than we're supposed to, just brush our teeth, and go to work, where we will be sitting or probably around other individuals for a whole 8 hours to then go home and sit on the couch. The only time a few of us only dress up is when it's drink nights with the gals or the girls. That's the same thing. The gals or the guys. Or if we're going to some event. However, because we take no pride in ourselves on a day-to-day basis, when we go to that event or when we go out, we still 9 times out of 10 look like a dog's droppings because we don't really take the time to learn ourselves on a daily basis and prepare ourselves for the world to see. Literally, that was a revy that was coming out for y'all. Wow. Oh my God. And so now I'm thinking, you know what? You need to raise your standard of excellence, because one thing that I feel like I've realized is that if once you get to the meaning of why you're doing something, you'll stop. Quick case in point. So I used to beat my face, you guys. Like, I used to like really full glam all the time, every single day. I would wake up at 4 in the morning. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do my makeup. I didn't have to be at work. What was I? Was I 8 to 5 or 9 to 5? I think I was 9 to 5. I left at 8 though. And so from like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Literally, because I didn't want to rush, and I was like, I have to see everything. So I'd wake up, y'all, at 4 to do my makeup, and I did that religiously. And the reason I started doing my makeup is because when I was in high school, I had really bad acne. High school, like middle school to high school, I had really, really bad acne. And so I used to pop them all the time, and I got like pimples and stuff like that. Not pimples, like dark spots and like discoloration. And so I wanted an even canvas. I wanted this, So I was like, that's why I learned to do my makeup so well. Because I was like, even canvas, and then I was like, well, I can't just look dull. I gotta contour, I gotta give them what you want. So I learned y'all, I could have been a judge on RuPaul, like I was pretty good. Okay. And then I started getting facials. And like they started clearing up my dark spots and stuff, and so I was like, oh my God, I don't even need to wear makeup, because the only reason I started wearing makeup was for this even canvas, right? And then when I got the even canvas, I was like, I'm Gucci, right? However, makeup is beautiful. It is beautiful. Sometimes it gives you a little lightness, a little brightness, a little poppiness, a little je ne sais quoi, a little something. A little something, right? You look alive, you look fresh, you look bright. And then so I had stopped doing makeup, and then for a while I'd be like, why do I look so like dull? Like, why do I look tired today? I woke up, I meditated, I worked out, and I had, breakfast all before I went to work, and I still look tired, right? And it dawned on me that like when I got the goal, when I received, shitox, guys, hold on. I gotta charge, so the laptop is like at 8%, still recording, and I don't want this thing to end, and then I'm gonna have to jam these together. Baby girl would be so mad. So let me charge this up, y'all. Okay. Back in action. Okay, so, what was I saying? Oh, so I stopped doing my makeup, right? And I was like, I look a little dull, right? But because I had got the even canvas, I was like, I don't need to do makeup anymore, But that's not the goal. Well, that it was for me at the time, But I'm like, okay. Dang it, hold on. Oh, sorry, y'all. Man, if you're sticking with me, Jesus is gonna bless you. Okay, where are we? We're good. Okay, sorry. But, so like that, my goal was even canvas. And like once I obtained that without the makeup, I was like, I don't need it. Because like I didn't fall in love with makeup for like, oh, it could do this and oh, it could do that. I was just using it as an aid, as a Band-Aid. Thank you, Jesus. I was using it as a Band-Aid. And once I was healed in the face, I didn't need the Band-Aid anymore, So I was like, earlier this year, honestly, I love makeup. I love the way that you could do like a smoky eye, you could do a bright eye, you could, do just a basic. You could put some blush on your cheeks. You could go natural. You can go like baddie. You can go sweet girl. It's so much stuff you could do with it. Um, and so like earlier this year, I was like, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna do my makeup every time I go out, or I'm either gonna do my makeup or I'm gonna do really good skincare for that outfit. But before, like the day before, I'm gonna plan. So it's not just like, oh, every day is a skincare day because you woke up late. It's like, no. If you plan the night before the outfit, like a skincare fresh dewy look face with that outfit, then that's a skincare day. But if you planned like, oh, like a flirty girl pink cute girl blushy look with an outfit, then you must wake up so you can do that flirty girl pink blushy outfit. Blushy makeup for that outfit. So that's what I started doing. But I was like, in that, I was like, I have to raise my standard of excellence. I have to reevaluate why I'm doing a thing, Like, we don't wear makeup to cover up or hide anything. We wear makeup because we're queens, because we're, I don't want to say, I was going to say like, amen, thank you, a postcard of heaven. We wear makeup because we understand who we're representing. We wear makeup because we know we're influencers and we're influencing everybody. Whether if that's a man that he wants his future daughters to look like you, he wants a wife to look like that, or whether you're influencing women because they see a lady that they want to appear to, that they want to look like, that they want to understand, that they see someone in so much poise and grace and eloquence that they're like, wow, I like that. I want to be like that. That's why we wear it. We don't wear it because we're trying to cover up anything or be a baddie or this or that or the other. We wear it to enhance what God has already given us. And then I was like, working out. We don't work out because we're trying to, have the biggest booty or have the flattest stomach or, all that. Those are byproducts of just getting in the ocean, okay? Those are byproducts. You get wet. But the reason we work out is because when we're 50, we want to look 30. When we get to heaven, we want a healthy, fit, glorified body. We don't want a body that has, unneeded fat on it. If it don't need it. Now, if it need it, put it on, baby. But if it don't need it, why? Why have what you don't need? It's just baggage at that point, So I'm like, okay, let me go through the things that I do and why I do them. Like the reason we meditate is to clear our head, to understand what we're really thinking, what we're actually telling ourselves, and if what we're telling ourselves, what our mind is telling us, if that is in line with where we're going, or if we recognize a foreign thought and that we need to abandon. And like what I mean about that, a foreign thought is like a thought that is not yours, a thought that you heard someone else say, you heard in music, you heard in a song, a thought that's not yours that now you need to abandon, because if you keep allowing this to play in your subconscious mind, it's going to affect what you do. It's going to affect your actions. And that will play heavily on the results that you get in life, But just a few thoughts. A few revies I had, guys, a few revies. But another, this ties in perfectly. I remember one time I was in I was in, I was in a pyramid scheme, a real one. But we were at a conference, and a young lady had said this, and it stuck with me. And I was like, ooh, that's good, Jesus. And she said, you don't get what you want, you get what you stand for. And I was like, huh? And she was like, you get what your standards are. She was like, let me explain. So the way she explained it, I followed her. But this is what I got from what she explained, because I don't even remember everything verbatim. But this is what I got from what she explained. Basically saying like, you could want a fit, sleek, sexy, looking athletic body. However, if your standard is you eat whatever you want, if your standard is you drink whatever you want, you work out when you're feeling crappy so that you can feel good, then you're possibly not going to get that fit body, because that fit body, that standard, the standard for that kind of result is 5 days a week working out, is meal planning, is meal prepping, is 48 hours of drinking water. That's the standard for that kind of result. And so you're not going to get that kind of result even though you want it, because that's not your standard. You don't stand for that, And I was like, oh, that is true. That's good. So like if you're saying you always want to look fresh, you always want to look presentable, you always want to look beautiful or pretty or whatever it is. If your standard is waking up 30 minutes before you have to go to work, you're going to look like a disheveled person. Whether God blessed you with looks or whether he didn't, it don't matter. When you wake up 30 minutes ready for wherever you have to go, you're going to look a little disheveled. You're going to look a little disheveled, okay? If if your standard is, or if what it is that you want is to always look fresh and pretty and iconic or whatever, then the standard that you have to place in your life for that is like maybe waking up an hour and a half before you have to go somewhere, so that you could have 10-15 minutes to figure out what you're going to do. And then maybe you need the rest of the time to get your clothes ready and get yourself ready. So when you're walking out the house, you look fresh and presentable to your standard. And I was just like, dang, that's good. That's so good, because we're always crying about what we want or what we don't have, or, and this, I told you it was going to tie back in, y'all. This goes so well with what I was saying. Like, instead of looking at it from a place of like, I need to do more in order to get that. And I feel like that thought process, the root of thinking that way, is like, when you're ready, you'll have this. Because when you're ready, you'll have the relationship. Meaning that you're not ready right now for the relationship, meaning that there's still maybe some brokenness or hurtness or something that you have to do to heal yourself and get ready. So once you get to that point of being healed, that you don't even know what that point is, then the relationship will come. However, if the relationship never comes, then you'll be thinking in your mind, I need to do more. I constantly need to do more. You'll be thinking in your mind, what's wrong with me? You'll be thinking in your mind, like, why isn't it happening for me? Then you'll start comparing yourself amongst yourself, like, well, I'm better than this person. I'm nicer than her. Like So if you switch that over to, I am ready for everything that I want. And when that's ready for me, I'll appear in its life. When you switch it over to thinking that way, I believe that's where it ties into, you don't get what you want, you get what you stand for. Because if you can set a high standard in whatever area of your life that you want, and then see what that high standard gives you, then you can evaluate and determine, okay, do I want to change this standard in my life so that I can either go here, or I could remove that because I'm actually really not like that? Or do I need to continue this standard because this standard is giving me what I want? I don't know, y'all. Anyway, just think on it. Take to Lord in prayer. Ask him to give you revelation and just say anything that maybe I missed. If you rocked with me this long, how long are we? 40 minutes, Lord! Then I love you. And if you didn't, I still love you. Take care, guys. Bye.